All right, it's a new day. This is Coach Nikki Zeigler with the Herpreneur Boot Camp. Listen, it's about to go down today. We got 20 authors from all over the world that's coming to hang out with your girl and talk about their new book, or the book already came out, or book is coming out. I am so excited to be here on this Thursday morning. I got my music playing in the background. I got Crystal Ann Mitchell about to go live. She nervous, y'all, but guess what? We got this thing. We got this thing. We got this thing. We got. I think it's her first interview, and I got so much pleasure to be the first one to interview her about her new book. So we're gonna welcome Crystal to our live. She's way down in Kentucky. So let's welcome. I guess she laughing at me. Let me join her in.
How you
Hey,
doing?
we in here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Okay, we're doing good. We're gonna grow with this thing, Chris. We're gonna make this thing happen.
Okay.
Okay. So tell us who you are. Where do you live? In the name of the book. With the name of the book, tell me why you named the book what you named it.
Okay. I am Crystal Ann Mitchell. I'm here in Lexington, Kentucky. And my book is called The Beginning of Her Story. And the title I got was from my daughter. I had wrote the book, and then when I had to send it out to some publishers, I was like, oh, I did everything except writing the book. And I was like, well, what should I name the book? And my daughter said, how about The Beginning of Her Story? So thanks to my daughter is how I came up with the title, The Beginning of Her Story. So I got the blindfold on. Was not a picture of actually me, but it's a woman with the blindfold in her hand out. And it's as saying walking by faith and not by sight. So
Okay.
that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So I got my hand out to God because I'm following his instructions.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So tell me what inspired you to write this book?
Well, my brother had died about 4 years ago, which I
Okay.
had actually had dreamed it years before it had happened. So, but I've always wanted to be an author. Let me say that. So I've always had this in my heart ever since I was young. I always said that I'm going to be this famous author, and I used to practice my signature when I was younger, but going through life, it just got pushed in the back of my head. But it took the death of my brother. And so the end of that year, I was, just couldn't get it off my heart and my mind. So I thought about it and I was like, nah, I made up every excuse of why I couldn't do it. Like I'm getting old. I don't know what to write about. And I say about the year marking my brother's death, something just kept telling me to write. And I was in the room where I'm at now, Miss Nikki, and I said, God, if you want me to write, give me a sign and I'm gonna write. And the light in my room just started glowing and dimming and glowing and dimming. So I'm looking at this light and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my God, I am either going crazy or this light is doing. And I said, God, I think I'm tripping. If you do that one more time, I promise you, I'm all right. Cause see, I already know the story, but you gotta let me know because I need to know for sure. And the light just started going crazy. It started flickering, going in and then this and it blew. And they scared me because I'm like, oh, and then I just started laughing. I said, God, these people might think I'm crazy. So I started writing. So as I'm writing, I'm telling truthful things, but I knew that I wanted to make up a psychologist. So I made him up just so that I could use him to jump to different parts of my life. So it won't just drag out to be one long, story, just to get to the main part of my life. And as I'm writing, I'm thinking about Hollywood. And I'm like, they would want them to fall in love, So I'm making it as surely that they falling in love, liking one another. So I wrote it down and then I started to type it. And as I was typing, I ended up getting a phone, downloaded Words with Friends. And there was this man in California, he seen my picture. And matter of fact, they ended up being the picture that's on the flyer that you had. So, and he was, telling me he was in California, and eventually that he was a professor. And I was like, well, I'm a nurse age, and I'm gonna be in Hollywood one day. That's my dream, that's my calling. So he's think I'm trying to be an actress. And I was like, nah, I'm being an author, And he was like, oh, I've wrote as well, So he wanted me to self-publish. And I was like, I don't know. So he told me to do Create Space. And I was like, I'll think about it. And weeks later, he was asking me, and I was like, nah, I ain't checked it. I've been procrastinating. He said, well, if you look me up, you see I have a chapter on Don't Procrastinate. So I looked him up, and that's when I realized that he was a psychologist. So I was like, well, what's the odds, of me writing about a psychologist, And I used him to help me along the way of telling me what is the things to be seen in a psychologist's office and what would I call them, because, I actually never really seen a psychologist. So God placed him in my life to break and chip down all that fear that I had in me and to smack me awake. So that's why I'm here to this day, by following God's instructions. So he will always put people in your path.
Yes, he will.
He will always put people in your path to get you where he's trying to get you.
I believe, and I'm a living witness of it. I'm a living witness. Who is your motivator? Who really, besides God?
Okay, because I was going to put him to my children. I do this for them to let them know that you can do anything and you can do anything. If you find your gift, whatever that he wants you to do, you can do it. So I'm to motivate them that they ain't got to settle for nothing, and I sacrifice for them as well.
That's right. So my question to you, what will you tell your younger self right now? Like if you had, your younger self 20 years ago, what lessons have you learned from writing this book? What would you tell your younger self?
That everything happens for a reason. That's all that because we always ask God why. I'm still guilty of that to this day, so I'm still learning. But it's basically those is the ingredients that whatever that He lets happen to you, that's the ingredients of what you are to become. So I had to go through all of that, and without that, I wouldn't be here as well, because I wouldn't really have nothing to talk about.
That's right. That's right. So tell me about this book. Give me some juicy stuff on this book.
Okay. Like the book is basically, like I said, it's truth. The book is basically, it got sex in there. I'm gonna point that out because I don't want the church people clutching their church pearls and stuff like that, like being I don't want to catch them off guard, but it do have sex in there, but that's like part of life. But it's basically of, me having children, of why when I wasn't going to have it and how I prayed to God because I felt like I couldn't do it, that it was going to be too much for me to bear, and how I cried out to him and he was letting me know that everything was going to be okay, and it's kind of hard for you to pray and not see someone, how some people like having that self-doubt, but you just gotta pray to him. But it's basically about that, and how I went to school and how I dropped out of school, and just everything building up to how I wrote it. So it's just the ingredients,
Wow. So my question to you, what do you tell the average author or a person who want to be an author? What kind of advice can you give them about writing a book?
Well, I would tell them to write. Just write. Don't worry about how you're going to make it, and trust God. Talk to him. Go to him first for your, for your answers to be. But then also don't tell everyone your vision, because not everyone is going to see the vision that God has placed into you. And also everybody isn't going to be happy for you. So just go on and, because we do need some motivators to help us through, but don't just tell everybody your vision, because they'll project their fears on you and make you start doubting yourself. So you just got to do it and keep on going.
Wow. I'm writing this down. Wow. And so where can we find this book?
My book is available on Amazon. My publishers is Dorrance Publishing, so you can get it there at Dorrance Publishing Bookstore. I got a few people that I've had trying to, leave reviews and stuff like that. so that they can see Barnes and Nobles, and I want to say Walmart too, up under the Walmart.com. That the website, you can be able to get it there. I believe that it's on there too.
Wow. Well, see how easy that was.
I know. Look. Look, I had to public speaking, and I had learned the public speaking, and that's crazy because in the book I make sure that I mention public speaking in there because as I look back, God was the things that was happening, He was getting me prepared. But I learned that the fear of people is public speaking first, and then death comes second. But I learned to look over their heads like 5 o'clock in the room, and now I can't do that because it's the computer. So was like, oh, I cannot use that tactic. But it has really been a pleasure. It has been cool. My nerves have went down.
I told you, easy peasy, baby, easy peasy. Just be yourself, because what you got to understand, this is on YouTube. This is live, so you got people who want to.
You just want
to know who you are. You are. And so you're from Kentucky. You live in Kentucky, guys. Don't forget to check out Crystal Ann Mitchell. She's in Walmart. She's in Barnes and Noble. She's on Books A Million. And what's the name of the publishing company?
Dorrance Publishing.
And spell that for me.
Yeah, it's DORRANCE.
He said DORR?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there you go, guys. Go look her up under Dorrance Publishing, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, and Amazon to buy the book. And what's the name of the book one more time? Let them see the book one more time. It
is called The Beginning of Her Story by Crystal Ann Mitchell.
Oh, look at her. And how many pages is it?
139, I believe.
Okay. 139?
130. It's 130.
130 pages. Check it out. Support her. She's here. And Crystal, once this is downloaded, you're able to share this 1,000,000 times on your page.
Okay. I really appreciate it.
Take care of yourself. And I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day now.
You too. Thank you.
All right, guys, that was awesome. She was very great. She knew what she wanted to do. She had a vision. She made it plain. Her book is going to be selling out. You guys got to go support her. She's in Walmart. She's in Durant Publishing to her company. She's in Amazon, and she's in Books A Million. So take care. I'm happy to have Crystal as my first author. And we got another author. We got another author. Stay tuned. They're coming on at 9:30. I'll be back with the Herpreneur Boot Camp with Coach Nikki Zeigler.